So we'll have a cover page, and then it'll go into all of the different categories that we have set up for all of the tasks that we have. So if I scroll down, we have a few demo tasks here. It will show us a little mini map, including all the photos and any notes that I want to include, as well as a location of the task itself. So really easy way to automate that admin time that gets spent kind of putting these photos and progress pictures together, sending out reports to either subcontractors or to the client. So automating this report to get sent out automatically once a week will take some time off of your plates. Okay, so everything we've done so far works just as well in the field, even without internet. So we'll switch over to what it looks like on the iPad. So we have an iOS and an Android app. Before I switch screens, we do have another poll question here for you guys. What's the easiest way for you to communicate on the job site today? Okay, we'll give it a couple more seconds. Phone calls, top answer right now. Cool. So yeah, phone calls and text messages are some of the common ways that we see when we jump on calls with clients. So the idea for tasks is to hopefully reduce the amount of back and forth over text and phone calls as much as possible, just to kind of keep everything documented in one place as well. So I've switched over to the iPad view here. So I've got a list of projects that I have access to. The first thing you'll notice when you download the app and you access Fieldwire is that you will need to enable the project on your device. Basically, it just downloads all of the project data onto your phone or to your tablet, and it lets you use it offline. So there's zero downtime. You go into the field without cell service or Wi-Fi, and you're good to go. You can add your information. Once you come back to the office or to the trailer, all of that data is going to sync. So I'm going to jump back into that project I had open, and we'll talk through plans and tasks on the mobile side right here. So I'm jumping back into the plan that I had open earlier. So you'll notice I have my toolbar on the right side right here. These are all the same tools that I had open earlier. So I can use this pencil icon and just use my finger to add markups. I can do the same thing for any shapes, clouds that I need to add, and same thing for any notes. And again, this is going to sync. If I'm connected to Wi-Fi, this is going to sync automatically. And if not, it'll sync as soon as I get back into Wi-Fi or cell service. So one thing I wanted to point out here is that these automatic hyperlinks are one of the things that gets scanned with our OCR scanner as we upload plan sheets. It takes a couple minutes for that to process, but once they are done, you'll see them as red circles like this. So again, this is totally automatic. I can click on these circles and it'll take me to that specific elevation, the specific detail. So it just saves time rifling through, like if you have a physical set or even a digital set, this will just make it super easy to jump to specific details and jump right back into the plan sheet you were looking at. So you can do the same thing on the web version as well. So I'm going to show you an example of a task from my iPad here as well. So I'm going to keep this plan sheet open. Let's say I'm walking through the multi-use room. I'm going to drop down a pin because I noticed that there's a light fixture that needs to be shifted. So I'm going to drop down the pin. You'll see that there's a little mini map showing that it's linked to the plan sheet right there. I can come in here and I can say shift. Perfect. And then I can change the status to punch item, and then I can categorize this as electrical. You'll notice here, again, this is a more built out version of the project, but you'll notice it's split up by trade. So any items that come up, I can just organize by trade. So I'll note it as electrical there. And then the most powerful thing we can do here, now that we're doing it on the mobile app, is I can hit this camera and open up my device camera. So I can point it at the light fixture. And you'll notice that automatically that photo gets uploaded to the task. And so if I need to assign this workout to someone in particular, they will see everything that I've added on here as notes as well. Cool. So for offline access, again, zero downtime. When you're out on the site, you don't have to wait for self-service to kick in. You can just be uploading and updating client sheets offline.
Perfect.
Cool. So yeah, really quick, just to recap and wrap up here, we went through just a quick Fieldwire overview, creating a project, uploading your plans, creating some tasks, and then that task report, and then also what it looks like on the mobile app. So I think we'll open it up to questions here, right, Pranati?
Perfect. Yes. Thank you so much, Ayan, for going through this workflow. We have quite a few questions, and please add any questions you may have into the Q&A session. Let's start with the first one. Ayan, can you go through the OCR scanner again on how to scan the names of the sheet titles and sheet numbers on web?
Yeah. So I'll just go back into this. Are you still able to see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay. So what I did was I just selected the plan sheets that I needed to scan. So in this case, it's the entire architectural folder, but I can also just go in and just select sheets like this if needed. And I'm going to the actions menu and scan. Was the question just like finding the menu?
Yeah,
Okay.
just where did you get it into, or how did you click to get into this and then just to show the scanning?
Gotcha.
Perfect. Thank you so much. The second one's more for me. Yes, we will send the recording of the PPT. Like I mentioned, there's a new software. So if the recording is not good, we'll send you enough resources to go through this process. And I've also seen a couple of you asking me for a certificate for this webinar. Please feel free to reach out to me. Just reply back to any of the emails about webinar that you've seen before. It'll come to me. And please reach out to me if you want a certificate for this webinar. Perfect. The next question, in this case, you created like the plan folders or suppose you've created like architecture, whatever, right? Let's say if it's a plumbing subcontractor or an electrical subcontractor, what have you in your experience seen the plan folders to be?
Sorry, say that again. Was that for
Someone
me?
just uploads like a plumbing set.
Uh-huh.
What do you generally see the plan folders to be, or have you seen any of those instances?
Oh, like if it's just the plumbing set?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really up to you how you want to organize the plan folders. So if it's multiple trades, you can organize plan folders by each trade. If it's just the plumbing set, you can split it up into the different levels. So if you have like a cover sheet, that can be in its own folder. You have level 1, 2, and 3, they can be separated that way. But you don't necessarily have to have multiple plan folders. If it's just 15 sheets, you can definitely keep them under one folder as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. The next question we have is, can we add our own symbols in the toolbox?
Great question, and something that I've gotten a lot in a lot of my client calls. We don't have the ability to add our own custom symbols as of yet. We would love to hear from everyone who, I think I saw that come up a couple times. So if you do have ideas on what symbols you would need added, please let us know. We have our support line that takes feedback. I also take feedback to our product team. So if there's enough interest, we will hopefully take a look at doing that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. The next question here is, how do you add your tasks to a calendar?
Yeah, good question. So I'll go back to the built out project here. So there's a few ways to create a task. The couple ways, or the way that I showed you guys how to create a task was from a plan sheet. but you can definitely just create tasks from the task module itself. So I can just hit new task from here. But if you want to just create a task from the calendar view as well, you can do that. And I can just click the day and add my task here. And then as I change the start and end dates, they will also be reflected on the calendar. And then I can also shift my tasks on the calendar and Gantt chart view as well. And that will update the dates accordingly.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question is, again, going back to the mobile. Can you show how to drop the task pin on mobile again?
Sure.
Let's just go over like the process of creating the task on mobile again.
Yeah. So I'll start from the main page. So I've clicked into my project. I have my toolbar on the left side. Again, we have multiple options for creating the task. The way that I did it was I was in my plans tab. I can navigate to the plan that I'm working on that given day. And I'm pulling open my toolbar on the right side here. And among the markup tools here, we have this little pin-shaped icon. That's the task. So I can click on that. Once it's highlighted, I just use my finger to drop it down on a specific location.
Awesome. Thank you. The next question is there a way to track red line comments as complete?
That is a good question. There is a way that we can edit the details of a markup, meaning if I make a markup in red, for example, and let's say we want to create a convention internally that green means it's been resolved, I can always right click and edit the markup details and change this to dark green, for example. And that can be our like internal standard for meaning, hey, we've back checked this is resolved, and we no longer need to worry. Exactly. The other option is you can delete them. So up to you how you want to handle once markups are added, how you want to convey them as complete. The other option is using tasks in tandem with markups as well. So if I wanted to cloud an area and then add a task for the interior wall, I can mark that task as complete as well. So I can go into here and just say, hey, we've verified that this change has been noted.
Perfect. Yes. So I worked with a client in the past where they were using markups, changing the color from red to green so that their billing team can go in. Maybe you can also show how to filter the markups here. So their billing team would go in and just filter the colors into green to see everything that's done and bill accordingly post the change of color. So they would just like filter it out, or someone who's just working on the red comments can also filter it out to like a red and just work on the comments that are there.
Awesome. Yeah, great call out. I think the filter view is going to be really helpful. If you are markup heavy as part of your workflow, these filter tools are going to make it really easy to find specific things that you're looking for.
Yeah. Perfect. The next question is, are we able to collaborate or integrate with Bluebeam?
Not natively. I would be curious to hear what that would mean, collaborating with Bluebeam. Technically, they are one of our competitors, so they do a lot of the plan management and markup tools as well, but no native integration at the moment with Bluebeam. But if there's more information, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we would love to understand how you would like to collaborate. Again, if you want to just email us back about the use case that you're thinking, that would be a really good feedback for our product team here. The next question I have is, are we able to house NWD models on Fieldwire?
I'm personally not familiar with NWD.
I can talk about it. So at this point, like the 3D models that we take are only .ifcs. We cannot house the NWD models. But if you're again on Revit, if you're exporting NWD, you can always just export it as an IFC. And we have an entire 3D module models on the left that you can see if you're a business or a business plus user, where you can upload these models and also just calibrate it to your plans and stuff like that. We will have a webinar in future on BIM models. Feel free to check it out when we talk about it. Awesome. The next question is, how do you make tags visible for everyone? Sometimes, if you create a tag and change the color, like priority, give it a better priority, only the creator can see it from their end. Um,
Yeah, I assume by tag he's talking about tasks.
Tasks, exactly.
So yeah, so really easy way to make sure that the correct people have visibility on tasks is by either adding them as an assignee to the task or adding them as a watcher. So the assignee is going to be one person at a time, but the watchers can be multiple people. So this is, think of it as like CCing people on the task. So even when statuses change, the watchers will remain on that task and will maintain visibility on that task.
Perfect. And another thing I would just like to highlight there is on the left, when you see the tasks module where it's all tasks are selected, maybe just you can go there. So if all tasks are selected, the person, irrespective of assigning or not assigning to them, they would see all the tasks in a color, the priority color. But if it is on my tasks or watched tasks, only the tasks that they're assigned to will appear in color. The rest of them will be grayed out. So if you see a bunch of great tasks, just go ahead and click on all tasks. Then you'll see all the tasks with their native priority colors on a plan. Yeah. Awesome. The next one is, if a task is assigned to someone, do they get notified or emailed about the task?
Yes, so actually both. So you can set it up so that you get a push notification. Let me see. I have a couple examples here. So this is what it'll look like, kind of like when a text comes through, you'll see that push notification. And then you can also set it up so that where it sends you an email as well on your profile.
Perfect. Thank you. Could you show in task how to add a related task or checklist and what features are available between them? Just maybe talk about a little bit about related tasks and checklists.
Yeah, sure. So let's just take this cleanup task, for example. So if you open up a task, you have these two items here. So related tasks basically just creates a link to another task. So if there's a cleanup item that we've created, but we want to create one specifically for drywall cleanup. So I can say there's a related task, it's cleanup. And if I click on it, it's actually its own independent task that just has a link to the cleanup task we created earlier. So in this drywall one, I can come in here and assign it to the drywall category and do whatever I need to do here. I can make a report for the drywall folks based off of this task as well. But yeah, it's just going to be a link to between multiple different tasks. So if there's the drywall, I can do, there's a mechanical cleanup and so on. So they're all independent of each other here. I think the second part was checklists. So for each item, you can add checklist items one by one. So if there's like a standard procedure for installing something that you want everybody on the field team to make sure they're checking off, you can add them this way. For standard procedures, it's actually really easy to just create a checklist template. So you can create a template here, add your items that need to be completed, and then for every task that needs that list of checklist items completed, you would just pull it in by adding those items. So easy way to standardize the process.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. The next question we have here is, how do you recover the drawing with task locations? Or basically, tasks are added to a drawing and the drawing accidentally gets deleted. How do you recover those stuff?
With the task locations.
Um, yeah, like just a drawing and tasks get deleted. Just yeah.
Yeah, I think I get what happened there. Maybe I think so. When you have tasks linked to a plan sheet, they're going to be noted with this little pin-shaped icon where they're located on the plan sheet. If the plan sheet itself gets deleted, the tasks will remain, but they unlink themselves from the plan sheet. So I would just be careful about deleting plan sheets, because if there's like hundreds of tasks on a plan sheet, they'll just unlink, and you would, if you re-upload the plan sheet, you would just have to link them again from there.
Can you maybe take also a second when we are here to talk about the trash tab and how to restore an accidentally deleted task or a drawing?
Yeah. So anything that gets deleted, photos, tasks, plans, will show up in this trash tab for 30 days. So if you accidentally delete something, you can recover it from here.
Awesome. Can we restrict permissions for users? Example, if I upload drawing sets and don't want someone else to be able to mark them up or delete the plans, can I work on their permissions?
Yes. So we have 3 different permission levels on the project level. So right here, it's admin, member, and follower. So we'll send some resources here. There's a table that shows you what each of these permission levels can do, but you can absolutely set someone up potentially as a follower who will not be able to delete plans and will only be able to mark up private markups on the plan sheets. Basically, what that means is it'll be in purple, and only the person marking it up will be able to see it. Nobody else on the project will have visibility on those markups.
Perfect. Another question for going back to the trade symbols, do you have plans to add additional trade symbols?
It is on the radar. I don't have a timeline on that. That's something that we will be gathering feedback on an ongoing basis. So if you have feedback on that, we'd love to hear it.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you. If you have any feedback on the symbols that you want, feel free to just email us and we'll take the feedback back to our product team and have it logged into the system. Perfect. We're almost nearing time. Um, yeah, someone asked if we have videos on YouTube. Yes, we do have a ton of tutorial videos on each of these features on YouTube. And in the next slide, I take you to, while we wrap it up, you will have a link or section which has links to all the articles that are relevant to this particular webinar, but also just the playlist of all the tutorial videos that we have. So feel free to favorite them, star them, and use them as you get into any questions as well. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. This has been a great webinar and a great extended Q&A session that we had today. Please take a couple of minutes to just fill in our wrap-up section. Again, thank you so much, Ayan, for hosting this webinar. This wrap-up section here has 5 different questions. One is just a poll question on how we did on this webinar, but the rest of them just need a little bit of answer from you. Just feel free to take a minute or two to add this answers for us. And again, like I mentioned, this really helps us to plan our future webinars and understand how useful this content is for you guys. And also I have a little link on this web links where again, all of the different videos and other articles that are needed or connected to this particular webinar are linked. Feel free to click them or save those as well. Perfect. Once you finish this, again, thank you so much for joining and have a great rest of your Wednesday.